Oh, hello, yeah. Well, we made it to Friday, didn't we? It's been a hell of a long news week this week, one way or another. There's too much going on, what with Gaza flotillas and Trump shutdowns and, well, certainly not releasing the Epstein files. And, well, indeed, yesterday's horrific attack on a synagogue with various people dead. Appalling news. But I did really notice as that story came through that all of the usual suspects, those people that are bigots for a living, certainly knew instantaneously everything about the attacker when the rest of us didn't. We weren't privy to that information because we don't have that level of extrasensory perception of being able to absolutely know everything about who it was, what background they were, and certainly what religion they were. And it didn't really matter yesterday that the Prime Minister and Andy Burnham and Sadiq Khan and, well, Council of Mosques and others had come out and condemned things because we all knew where the blame lay. The blame lay with all of those people we don't like, who are the lefties and the Muslims and the brown people and the trans people and the gays and the communists. Have I missed anyone out? Possibly. I might well have missed out the people who are actually, victims of the attack, but depending on what your particular viewpoint is, you can include them as well. After all, why not? The problem I have with all of this stuff is that these people, I don't feel, should be able to make a living out of this stuff. I don't see why somebody can monetize their own hatred. And that goes from your average kind of commentator, and we know who they are with their podcasts, through to your more active citizen journalists who certainly knew it was all Sir Keir's fault yesterday, right the way through to, well, our own particular right-wing politicians who inevitably will feel extremely threatened by people that, well, probably aren't going to be gunning for them in any way, shape or form. After all, they are the victims. However, I don't know, I just find it very, very, very unsettling to live in a country where people can make a living out of being such appalling, nasty, hate-filled individuals. As I say, wasn't really getting that vibe yesterday. I know it's a horrible word, but I wasn't really getting that vibe yesterday from the PM or Andy Burnham or Sadiq Khan or indeed Muslim Council of anything. Still, that's just me being an apologist for terror. No doubt, because after all I fit into the wrong side of the camp. I don't know, just these things are intensely depressing. Not just that there are, these kind of attacks, because you will get nasty bigots one way or another in various different places over time. I've sensed these kind of things throughout my life, one way or another. And certainly if you think about the news that was coming out 24 hours beforehand about the Met Police and their average officer and their average officer's viewpoints on things, you get the idea. But I really just don't think that we should allow these people to become wealthy by stirring up racial hatred, because after all, why should they? Why should they be allowed to stir, poke, or otherwise the hornet's nest? Anyway, do have a lovely day. If you can do make the most of the end of the decent weather I think we're going to have. And I don't know, try and stay positive and human at least, rather than giving in to those more base desires. Do enjoy.